Welcome, everybody. I'll ask my special guest today to introduce himself.
Hello, my name is Vuksanovic and I come from Montenegro.
Great. What is your job?
So in fact, I have a couple of jobs. I work as a senior compliance officer and assistant to the Secretary General for an Austrian bank in Montenegro. And I also work as country representative for American Consuls for International Education. So I lead the Office of American Consuls in Montenegro.
So let's start from the last job that you mentioned. Can you tell us a little bit more about this?
Yes, of course. So Flex program is an exchange program, cultural exchange program organized by American Councils for International Education, funded by the US government, State Department. It gives an opportunity to young people from 21 countries in Europe and Asia to apply and go, if they pass all the rounds, go to the United States and live there with an American host family and attend an American high school.
I heard that it is very selective.
It is. It's very tough to get on program. You need to go through 3 rounds of selection and the numbers are super high. Everyone's interested to get a scholarship because it's a completely different experience than a paid program. This program really has an added value because it's organized by the American government. Even after you return, you get an opportunity to implement everything that you've learned in the States back into your community here. And that's alumni programming.
You said 10 years ago you've been a Flex student. So how was the experience for you?
Experience was amazing. It's one of those experiences that you look back and you really say, you know what, this changed my life. Growing up, I always wanted to go to the US. For some reason, I loved everything that we could see in the media and I wanted to go. So one day I'm sitting in a classroom and my Latin teacher comes in. It was the first year of high school and she says, there is this program for students to go to America. It's completely new and I have this info sheet, who's interested? And a couple of us are just like, give us the papers. We take the test. The first one, it was a pretty simple test of English language. So I passed into the second round and they tell me I passed into the third round. And then the third round is crazy. It's more essays, it's a long English test and a lengthy application that consists of so many forms you submit because until spring, you don't know who's gonna get picked. So springtime comes. And my sisters called me. They just called and they said that you got the scholarship. You can go to the US. And I was like, I can't believe you're making jokes with this. So I talked to my dad and he tells me completely calmly, yes, they called. You have 7 days to decide whether you're going to take this or not. And I'm thinking to myself, take it or not? Like, of course I'm going to take it. I was 16 at the time, but there's no turning back now. This is what I want. I need to go. So I'm getting ready to leave. I get to Belgrade and somebody tells me you're going to Maryland. And I don't know anything about Maryland. I don't know that Maryland even exists. So I go to Maryland and I come to this amazing person who has been working for so many years for American Consuls. It was an honor to be hosted by Martin. He hosted so many students from all around the globe in his house. I get to go to Washington, D.C. I see Capitol building, I see the White House, and I'm like, I used to watch all of this in the news. Now I'm here. This is surreal. But then it kicks in. You're not going to see your family for a year. So I had a crisis that first day, but then the next day I was just like, yeah, this is what I want. And a couple of days later, they tell me, your host family is going to be in North Carolina. You're going to go to Durham, North Carolina. I go there and I start my high school. I meet my host family and I have the best year ever. It taught me so much. It got me through so much that I cherish it. I would never change it.
I love what you said, and probably I will keep all your story as a peel about the Flex experience because it was awesome. It's like going with you into this journey. How much this experience influenced your choices in terms of university and your path to get to where you are today?
I can say that it influenced me a lot because it's one of those things. Now going back to my own community and to where I come from, a very small town in Montenegro, which is not too far away from the capital, but it's a small town with maybe limited opportunities. And then the conditions that we grew up in during the 90s and Yugoslavia was being torn down in wars. It was terrible to have such a surrounding, and economy was in pieces. That was the thing with Flex. You tell people, I'm going to America. People tell you it's probably set up. Somebody's going to get it. You're not going to be the one who's going to get it. So I was really proud of that. And then it gave me this initial push to just say, if I did this when I was 16, I can do pretty much anything I want. There's no limits. I wanted to study international relations really bad because that's something that really interested me. But then I talked with so many people, and Montenegro is a small country. It doesn't have a State Department. It doesn't have many jobs in foreign service. It just didn't make sense job-wise for me to go into that. Yes, I believe you can do anything, but I also believe you should be wise enough to realize that you should balance some things out, and you should have a plan B. I don't say all the time, but for some important things in your life, do have a plan B. So it was between law and international relations, so political science. My mother is a lawyer, so I talked with her first, but then I spoke with so many people who studied law, so many people who studied international relations, and then I also spoke with the wife of the then ambassador of the US in Montenegro. She was from Serbia, and I remember going to one reception and talking with her, and she said, law, pick law, study it. Later on, you can do a master's in international relations, but with international relations, you can't do law. And that was a really good advice, and I took it. And then when you want to study law, usually you must study it in the country where you're from, because national law is different. So I went to University of Montenegro and Faculty of Law.
So I'm interested at this point. You said you studied law. So what are the other jobs that you mentioned at the beginning? Give us a little bit more insights about those.
So my legal job, one that involves the things I studied, is with the bank. So compliance, making sure that everything that is done is in accordance with legislation, with standards, internal guidelines, internal acts. It's interesting because you see this economic aspect of your country, how you can support small businesses and so on. Then I work as American Council's country rep, and American Councils implements different programs such as Flex that we talked about. And my focus has been on bringing Americans here. I want to see more Americans come to Montenegro. And we had a great cooperation with Lehigh University, which both of us know, and Ayakoka Institute, which is another great experience that we both share. And we would bring Lehigh students to Montenegro to do internships during the summer. It was great to see how American students, they would come here, they would start working for a Montenegrin company, and they really are good with pointing what can be done better, what can be done in a more efficient way. Even though they're just their sophomore or junior years of college, I think they did a wonderful job. So bringing Americans here still continues to be a goal of mine, because we can learn from them, they can learn from us. And I really do believe in this cultural exchanges program. Cultural diplomacy, public diplomacy in general, is so much better than like all the arms stuff and all the deals in the background and so on, because it really forms unique people-to-people connections, and it exposes you to cultures in a way that cannot be repeated. So yeah, I'm a big believer in cultural diplomacy.
So you were talking about people-to-people connection. At this point, I would like to have from you the definition of networking.
The definition, from my point of view, would be that networking is a very important thing, but not in a way that many young people, they saw from the generation before, and now they think this is the only way networks work. You go into a reception, you're bored out of your mind, but you're there to network. You introduce yourself, you give your card, and then you just present yourself to complete strangers, and you just try to sell whatever you're selling. It doesn't always have to be like that. Networks are, you find yourself in a place. It doesn't have to be Harvard. It doesn't have to be Yale. Find yourself on a trip, maybe, I don't know, in Rome, and you're sitting down with some people that you've just met, and you talk to them, and everyone has diverse jobs, and everyone has diverse interests, and you find something in common, and you stay in touch. So I'm just saying that it should go beyond you getting something immediately in return, or you selling your product. It should be more you getting to know people and then forming a network of people who you really enjoy being around with. I would say a network of feel-good people, because that's the fact with the Global Village Network, for example. Those are the people who make me feel good. So wherever I go, whenever I travel, or whenever somebody comes to Montenegro and I see that they're in Montenegro, I want to see them. I want to spend time with them. I don't have an agenda. Well, I need this from this person. So I would define networks, my networks at least, as just a group of people who make you feel good. And occasionally you can give something to them more than a good feeling, and they can give something to you. And you can help each other, but in that way also help your communities, because that's what most of our work is focused on. I forgot to mention earlier that in 2010, I co-founded with a couple of people that have been on youth exchange programs, an association, an NGO here, that we use to implement our ideas and to spark community activism in Montenegro. There's a funny story. So 2012, I'm invited to go to Washington, D.C. And I'm invited to be a mentor at a conference where there's going to be Flex and Yes students who are currently in the States. So I go to Capitol Hill, I go to Senate office buildings, to House office buildings, to Capitol itself. They take us on tours. And then I think to myself later on, I've been to a US Congress and I've never been to my parliament. I met with the US elected officials. I've never met my representatives. And I'm like, how can this be done? So I go back to Montenegro and I organize a group of people and write to the parliament and say, we want to come to the parliament, we want a tour of the parliament, and we want to meet with our elected officials. So they write back and they say, okay, here's a date, and the speaker of the parliament would like to meet with you. And we were like, oh my God, what have we done? What are we going to talk about with the speaker? So we go there and we tell what we think. We say what we think when we say, you need to keep us in this country. We don't want to be part of the brain drain. We want to stay here, but there are things you need to do. And then I say, yeah, this is great. But these are the people who had the chance to go to the US. They live in Montenegro. They are very ambitious. We need to motivate others who haven't had the opportunity to go to the States. So we organize a huge workshop for students from Montenegro to come and to learn. So we take them to the parliament, they meet with MPs, they see the sessions live, and that was a great program. And then we did it again and again. And now, middle of pandemic, we can't do it live, but we decide democracy still needs to go on. It doesn't matter, it's pandemic, we need to do it. And then we do it over Zoom, how we can. We had the ambassador yesterday for the closing. And she spoke, we spoke about youth activism, we spoke about women gaining their rightful seat at the big table, having more women in leadership positions. And it was a very inspiring interview.
Everything you are sharing gives me the feeling that there is a leader on the other side of this call. And I knew it because that's why I called you. So tell me more about leadership for you.
So leadership for me is not like with networking. I don't like the definitions. I don't like those standard definitions of leadership where you wait until you're a member of the parliament, member of the government, prime minister, whatever, to fix something. I think, and how I see my role is I do what I need to do to live normally, but at the same time, my passion is telling people you can do it. And my passion is taking people by the hand, taking them to the parliament, say, this is your elected official. We should not be scared of our government. They're working for us. They're our employees. And you should be able to go there and ask questions. And we had a large support from the government to do that. There were open doors for us. There were open doors for everyone. It's just the people somehow never realized that there were open doors. Or sometimes the doors are not open. You will have to push. Sometimes the doors are there. You just need to knock and enter. And that's my goal with leadership. I wouldn't say I'm a leader, I'm this bossy and loud person, how you usually picture a leader. But it's just, I'm here and I will tell people, yes, you can go on an exchange program. Yes, you can go to the parliament. And here I am, and I'll help you believe in yourself more. I'll help you. And as soon as you realize that you can do it once, then there's no stopping you. Some people need a little push, and you need to show them. And you need to realize that you need to show them. You need to have this additional intelligence to see, but this person needs a little push. And once they're on their way, it's going to be perfect. But it's this different version that you don't need to be in a power position in order to influence others or in order to help others. You just need to take one step at a time, one project at a time, one idea at a time, do something that you're passionate about, and go out there, ask questions, and do things. And that's somehow what I believe leadership should be. And I believe that everyone's a leader in their own way, can be if they want to.
Sometimes it's just what you just did, create a container, a place where people can talk and discuss opinions and meeting other people. You bring a community all together. You don't need to be the one that tell people, let's do that. No, it's listen, let's do something together. Let's create this place where we can talk and we can make other to hear us. Yeah. So let's stay together. I think that you're a very good example. I'm very happy that you joined this project to share your experience.
Thank you for thinking of me. You're proving what I said, because you said we haven't seen each other in a while, and I'm sorry for that. I wish I was in Rijeka or in Belgrade, but I know we're going to see each other as soon as the pandemic ends. And yeah, you thought of me. See, this is the network. You remembered me, who you met 4 years ago. We've been in touch since then, of course. We have this network of people. I see what you do. You post. I reply. We make jokes about you traveling all the time. You say, you multiply yourself. Somehow you're in Italy and in Israel and in the United States at the same time. 3 Irenes going around the world. But this is the thing. You meet someone and you think of those people and you remember them as you go forward and as you work on a project or as you do something. And you brought a great point about leadership when you said, it's not enough just to tell people what to do. You need to listen.
It's more like a facilitating activity. Let's be honest. With the global experience that you have, the global experience that I have, but I want to talk about you. So the global experience that you have, so many things you have seen, so many people you met from so many countries, you learned the cross-cultural communication, that it's a key point for a leader, that is able to talk to everyone, no matter of their background, social background, religious and politics and everything. So you're a man, you're a woman, you're a transgender, you are a person. And you are able to talk to them because you crossed that comfort zone many years ago, learning to talk to everyone in the most simple way. Everybody can be a communicator in somehow. But to have that understanding as a cross-cultural communicator, I think that is something that you learn only if you go through the experience that you went through. And then you can be the connector, you can be the catalyzer, you can be the networker, the leader, that not necessarily, as we were saying, has to be the prime minister or a politician, but a leader around us.
Yeah. That's a great point. Yeah, that's a great point. I really like the conclusion you drew. Yeah, the leader, from here, from the community, in that spot where people do need you. I'm really happy. You inspired a lot of answers because you do point people in the right direction and you do it nicely.
So my last question usually is, do you have a dream with a deadline?
So I haven't been putting deadlines on my dreams. I'm lying, but it's just, I tell to myself, you put a lot of pressure on yourself when you have a deadline, and my life has been all about deadlines. But a dream with a deadline. I have a dream with a deadline, yeah.
And what is the dream?
My dream is to have my own tourism business, that it's going to be completely eco-friendly. You're going to come, you're going to stay in a cabin. You have a little garden next door where you can pick your own things. There's no chemistry, nothing has been fertilized. And then you can say, I want to go horseback riding. And I'll tell you, yes, tomorrow at 8. You want to say, I want to go hiking across the mountains, Montenegro, take you there. And then you say, while I'm hiking, I want to pick some tea leaves of different teas, and I tell you all of them what they are for, and we go and you pick them. So just, I want to have my own story where people from all around the globe would come, and I want to get them a chance to connect themselves with not only the nature, but with themselves again. While I think it's great to enrich yourself with knowledge, I think we're overdoing it. I honestly think that we're overdoing everything. You disconnect from real life, from healthy food, from everything. And that's my goal. My goal is to have a place, like a safe place, a great place, healthy place where people would come and they would have a great time and they can reconnect with themselves and with the nature.
I book.
I'm waiting. There. As soon as it's done, you're gonna be on an honorary guest list.
Oh, I love it. And you will also impact the surroundings. There is going to be a huge impact on the community, on the place that you will build this. I think it's an awesome idea.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm looking forward to, I kept it at 35. I'm 30 now. So the last deadline to do it is 35. It's a long way. I hope it's going to be sooner than that, but this is the last deadline. I
think that you're already on the right path. It's the right step, deciding to do it. And in the way that you are, you usually don't leave things in the air. You just start it and get it done.
You know me so well. I'm scared now.
I mean, honestly, I heard your story, and it's passion, motivation, motivating others, not doing by your own. I'm going to ask you, please, to make a call to action, to create your own community around these dreams.
That would be awesome. You know what? Once things get rolling and there is need for help on the ground, I do hope that people will join, people from this community, people from our network at Global Village, plus the people you're going to impact with all of these interviews, we'll have a great time, and we'll build something really useful that you can come back afterwards anytime you need to charge yourself.
Yes, I love it. We are going to put your contacts, the LinkedIn profile, in the description of the video. I really thank you for your time and for sharing all your stories that were, honestly, sometimes I had goosebumps. Yeah, the emotions of being 16 and getting to the United States and everything you went through when you in your childhood and all the change that you went through, and it impacted so much you that you were already fertile ground. You were ready to receive, but you are such a great inspirational leader today, and I thank you for your time, really.
Thank you so much for all the nice words. Thank you for thinking of me and inviting me to do this. And thank you for continuing to inspire us all and to motivate us all. And every time we're in the midst of the pandemic, rolling our eyes, when is this going to pass? Nothing is happening. You come and you're like, yeah, a lot of things are happening. And here are the things. Here are the things. Come on, guys. We can do this. We can get through the pandemic. We can form another great community. Thank you for all the job that you're doing always. I read that someone said, and I 100% agree with the person, Irene, always ahead of your time, ahead of our time. So you're always ahead, one step ahead. So thank you very much for everything that you do.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That was awesome.